Classic Sonic shouldn't even be here, man. Hey guys, this is the Lyoko Gem, and welcome to another video on Sonic Forces. I finally have a little bit of downtime before the next piece of news ruins it all, so I've got to quickly pump out this video that I've been wanting to make for a few weeks now. So with that being said, let's go and talk about Classic Sonic and his role in Sonic Forces. Now, Classic Sonic has had his inclusion in the game questioned from the very beginning. This, of course, is due to his inclusion in a modern Sonic game so soon after Generations. And heck, even I've commented on the fact that Classic Sonic really shouldn't be here. Initially, I was hoping that that character spot would have gone to Shadow, and then the reveal of your custom character just thought it should have been Sonic and your custom character. There's something odd about Sonic and your custom character compared to just Sonic and your custom character. But Sega's going through with this, and it looks like we've got to keep it that way. But my personal opinions aside, Classic Sonic is here, and he's going to be going through the game. Today I will be theorizing what sort of path he'll go down, but more importantly, the recent reveal of Modern Tails tagging along with him over the course of the game. So with that said, let's start with how Classic Sonic's journey will likely start in Sonic Forces. So as we know, Classic Sonic got thrown through the portal at the end of Sonic Mania, and of course we know he ends up in Sonic Forces. But the question is, when and where does he end up in Forces? Now, I'm not really sure where the Phantom Ruby ends up, but that's not really the focus of this. I do think that it ends up in an earlier time and place than Classic Sonic does, so that Eggman is able to take the Phantom Ruby and use it to create Infinite and take over the world. Classic Sonic ends up out of the portal later, in the middle of the war. At least, that's what I gather. Not sure how it works yet, but yeah. But Classic Sonic arrives in Sunset Heights, and he's dumped in an area of the level that has already been ravaged and destroyed by the Eggman Empire. The Resistance has lost in this area, and we find the ruined version of Sunset Heights, called Ghost Town, as evident by the Sonic Forces soundtrack reveal. If you want to know why I think Ghost Town is the name and theme of Classic Park Avenue, I can explain this in the comments below. But Classic Sonic lands in this area of Sunset Heights, and the confused little blue hedgehog runs around, only to run into this section of the city where Sonic first meets Infinite in the League of Villains, only after Sonic has been defeated. Classic Sonic will arrive on the scene and save Tails before they both make their retreat to Green Hill Zone. Alternatively, we could have it where Classic Sonic is dumped into the middle of the conflict as his opening cutscene, saves Tails, and together they retreat to Ghost Town, and make their way here to Green Hill Zone. But I personally think it's the former rather than the latter. Classic Sonic will arrive and save Tails before they run off towards Green Hill Zone, which will end up being the second level, no matter which way you spill it. So there, Classic Sonic and Modern Tails are in Green Hill Zone, where it's likely where Tails figures out Classic Sonic is from another dimension, before they run into Eggman again, to do the first boss fight, which is a nod to the first Green Hill boss before Eggman surprises us with the Egg Dragoon from Classic Sonic to face. Of course, after some wisecracking from Tails, Classic Sonic takes out Eggman no problem, and he retreats. Personally, I think this is where you gain the achievement Mean Egg Machine for driving off Eggman, but I digress. Some stuff happens, and that's all I can directly make of their story for sure. From here, I'm gonna completely guess. Classic Sonic and Modern Tails then use the tornado to go on their own adventure all over the world. As far as Tails is concerned, Modern Sonic is probably still in Eggman's clutches, and so they'll likely be trying to look for him. Tails and Modern Sonic, I don't think will be heading to Chemical Plant right away, and I don't think they'll go to Casino Forest right away either, which the latter will be explained later. My guess is Classic Sonic and Modern Tails go to some new location. Maybe somewhere new, maybe somewhere old, in an attempt to find Sonic. Perhaps an Eggman base that Tails knows of, having been in the Resistance before. Maybe even the Death Egg, since Tails figures he would want Sonic in the most secure place possible. But I doubt that. But they travel to an Eggman base of some sort and storm the place in an attempt to find Sonic. My guess is they run into a boss of some sort, something generic and not one of the main villains though. Perhaps some sort of classic boss with a twist, or even a new boss. Of course, Sonic isn't there, and he's probably still in Green Hill, with the custom character, or even in Chemical Plant, already at the time. I guess time passes, and they look in maybe another place or two before Tails, listening to the comms and hear stuff of Sonic's return, and that he was last spotted heading towards the Casino Forest area. Of course, they head over there, just a little ways behind him. There, a couple of things can happen. First of all, we all know Mr. Edgy McFinnet is in the Casino Forest area, talking to Sonic. Or perhaps he's talking to Classic Sonic in that scene, since he refers to him as the Little Blue Savior, but personally I do think Infinite is talking to Modern Sonic there. So Infinite talks to Modern Sonic in Casino Forest, and Modern Sonic chases after him. Then, Classic Sonic and Modern Tails arrive, looking for Sonic, knowing he's in the area. Now, judging by the end of Casino Forest, it's likely that that's a setting for either another level, a cutscene, or perhaps both, with how big and in your face it is. Now back to Sonic and Infinite. Infinite has Sonic chase him down. Neither Infinite leads Sonic into a trap, or Sonic and Infinite throw down. One of a few things can happen. A custom character arrives from Aqua Run and saves Sonic, or Classic Sonic and Tails finally find Sonic and save him, and perhaps Classic Sonic has his first run-in with Infinite there. I personally think that Casino Forest is where Classic Sonic and Modern Tails will find Sonic, and when they do, Sonic and Tails will have a heartfelt reunion between Sonic and Tails since he finally finds them. And he's also introduced to Classic Sonic again for the first time. I'm surprised that he's actually here. But with that, Classic Sonic and Tails meet Sonic and rejoin the Resistance. But I figure at this point, since Tails and Classic Sonic have been working together for some time, Tails will still often join Classic Sonic on the field. Or maybe it's not even in Casino Forest. Maybe it's at the end of the game, since Classic Sonic and Tails aren't in that one scene with the army. But that can be made with a counter-argument that in war, different people do different things, and they're simply not there for that battle since the custom character also isn't there. I do believe Sonic and Tails will reunite in the Casino Forest area, and from there they go the route of the Resistance. Now, as for my theories out of the way, what are my thoughts on this? Personally, I still wonder why Classic Sonic was put in this game in the first place. The fact that Iizuka said that he was one of the first characters when thinking of playables for Sonic's army is just really, really dumb. But that aside, what do I think about the story of Classic Sonic in Modern Tails? Well, for one thing, I like this. With Classic Sonic being with Modern Tails, it makes a lot of sense since Classic Sonic would probably naturally gravitate towards Tails since he's familiar, you know? Tails is his buddy. There'd be a lot of trust there compared to any of the other characters you could possibly partner up Classic Sonic with, aside from himself. Furthermore, having some Classic Sonic go on his own path allows for more story options than if he had tagged along with Sonic and our custom character. If you have Sonic and the custom hero, and Classic Sonic going along the same story, then they encounter all the same obstacles in the same order, making the narrative a little more straightforward and simple than we'd prefer. However, if you make it where Classic Sonic goes away from Modern Sonic and the custom character and go on his own path, then you have it where they can run into entirely different obstacles than Modern Sonic and the custom character, allowing them to flesh out the narrative even more. There will definitely still be interaction between Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic at some point, but the way they're going, it allows them to tell even more story and show different aspects of the war that have been left on the world. A good example being that of Casino Forest compared to Aqua Road. Aqua Road is simply the forest on fire, whereas Casino Forest you have Eggman having gone forward with his plans of deforestation and making it to his own twisted fun. This is a good thing, and is less predictable than the simplicity of classic Sonic just tagging along with modern Sonic and the custom character. But there's one thing I also gotta say. I praise the story of Sonic Forces a lot, but we know Sega enough for me to say that this probably won't be lived to its full story potential. By that I mean classic Sonic adventuring with modern Tails. You see, Sonic and Tails' relationship is more or less that of brothers, since Tails has been adventuring with Sonic since Sonic 2. They've been through a lot together and mean a lot to each other. And seeing as in this case, with classic Sonic being a younger Sonic, it's a very interesting idea presented for the roles to be flipped between the two, as this time Tails would be the older brother, and Classic the younger. There's a lot of character development they could do with Tails with that, and I feel that they're just going to miss out on a lot of it. That's not to say Tails won't develop or have nice moments with classic Sonic, because of course he will. But what I'm saying is that there's a lot of stuff that they could explore and exploit with this shift in Sonic and Tails' relationship. The story will more than likely be good, no doubt, but damn, there's a lot they're going to leave me to desire. I hope I'm wrong, but at least from what I understand about Sega's writing, they're not going to do that, which is just a darn shame. But yeah, with all my thoughts out of the way, it's time to explain how I think this story will end. You see, at the end of the game, during the final battle with Infinite, the Resistance will face him, together, with the Sonics and your custom character leading. But during the battle, something terrible happens. Tails will be struck down by Infinite, using his death to make Sonic and the others far more angry as they destroy Infinite. And by the time they're done, all that's left is his gem of infinite power, the Phantom Ruby. Saddened by the death of Tails, they don't give up on him. They decide that if they can use the Chaos Emeralds to revive Sonic, why can't they do the same with Tails and the Phantom Ruby? So, they wish upon the Phantom Ruby, bring Tails, and wish Tails back to life. But oh no, something happens to Tails when he's revived. The gem embeds to his chest, makes one of his tails fall off, and his fur turns from a once cheerful and inviting yellow to an ominous black. That's right, Tails becomes infinite, and immediately retreats to his gem form before teleporting back to Classic Sonic's dimension, underground on Angel Island again, where an unsuspecting Classic Sonic and Tails are about to arrive and undergo the Mania again, making it a constant time loop that will go on for eternity. In fact, all games after this will be Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces again, to symbolize this loop in the timeline forever and ever for all eternity. And if you want an original game with an original story from now on, you'll be forced to play the Sonic Boom games. Okay, but for real, this is a joke. I'm sorry, I just really wanted to poke fun at the whole Tails dies and Infinite is Tails theories, so yeah. But I guess that'll do for this video. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts and theories on Classic Sonic and Tails being together. But hey, what do you all think? Do you have entirely different opinions on this team-up, or do you think it'll go down in an entirely different way? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video and want to hear more from the Lyoko Gem, then like, subscribe, and follow my social media at Tumblr, Twitter, and Discord, all linked below. But thanks so much for watching, and with all of that being said, this has been the Lyoko Gem, a warping out.